Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is the weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, the 18th day of November, Apple Cider Day. Married to a Scorpio Support Day. What are you? Are you a Scorpio?
No.
I don't know any of those things. National Princess Day. You're a princess, right?
Yes, John, I'm a princess.
I saved myself there. Push Button Phone Day. Remember those? Mickey Mouse's birthday. All of that happening on Saturday. Sunday the 19th, Equal Opportunity Day, International Men's Day, National Camp Day, Women's Entrepreneurship Day, World Toilet Day, National Blow the Bagpipes Day. What?
So bizarre.
And National Carbonated Beverage with Caffeine Day. All of those things happening this weekend. And I have a guest joining me. 23-year-old music prodigy and the director of a new program that is on the History Channel. It's about John Kennedy because we're approaching the 60th anniversary of his death. So we're going to be talking to him about this program. And I believe he's the director because it says director and 23-year-old music prodigy. So I believe he's the director
That would be a good assumption.
Well, I'm assuming that. I'll ask him. That'll be question number one. So, are you the director? It says so in these notes. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. How many times a day do you find yourself whipping out your phone to snap a picture? How many times do you think?
I
Heidi?
hardly ever take pictures, actually, but
About 6 if you're average. Heidi, according
I
to
am
her,
not.
is below average. I'm probably somewhere around average. One poll asked 2,000 Americans about their camera phone habits, and they also found that we are going to a special event. We spend 40% of our time peering through our phones taking photos. The average person was found to have just under 2,800 photos on their camera. That's their phone, by the way. The most popular photo, what do you think?
I have no idea.
Groups of photos with family, the number one thing. With friends, number 2 thing. Selfies, number 3 thing. Pets, that's 52%.
Yeah.
And scenery is last on the list
We
of
have
most popular.
all kinds of pictures of our pet.
Yeah, I was on an airplane once, and I was talking to the person next to me. They had to just take my word for it. We had 2 kids, but I was able to show them 200 photos of my dog.
We have 2 children, but here's another one of my dog.
No photos of my daughter or my son. Not a single one. Which means they need to spend more time with me is what that
That's
means.
right.
All right. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know in a new survey of Americans with access to streaming services, 45% said having different movie tastes in a relationship is a deal breaker. I don't think so. There are movies you like.
We
and there's
very
movies
definitely have different
And there are
tastes.
some that we both like. But for the most part, you like scary movies. I like
Yeah.
comedies. You give me a scary comedy, I'm a happy dude. Other revelations from the one poll survey, 6 in 10 consider streaming a movie or series and hooking up as an acceptable first date. What? That's the first date? That's the first date? The average person streams a whopping 1,112 hours of content a year. That's 21 hours a week. We probably are above that.
No.
I'm not saying all the time, but like when we have time.
When we go into a series, a TV series,
Yeah.
we do finish it
Yeah.
all,
We'll
all at
binge
once.
it,
But
like Evan.
that is definitely rare.
You're sitting there on the
these
sofa.
days.
Like, we haven't left the house all weekend. We didn't even
I
get
don't
off the
think I've
sofa.
showered.
Yeah. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Apple TV has announced a new original Peanuts featured film. It'll follow Snoopy and Charlie Brown's biggest challenge yet. as the Peanuts characters embark on an epic adventure to the big city to learn the true meaning of friendship while meeting some surprising new friends along the way. All right. And Rob Lowe's new Fox competition show, The Floor, has a set January 2nd for their premiere date now. So $250,000 grand prize on that program. Rob Lowe's Fox competition show. And Gwyneth Paltrow said she's getting out of acting. But now she said, but I could be persuaded to act again.
Yeah, by Robert Downey Jr.
If the right person called
If he called me and begged
If
me.
the right person called. If the right opportunity, you know.
Yeah.
As long as it's Robert Downey Jr. and as long as he says it really nicely. I'm like,
Robert Downey Jr. is like, why would I do this?
did he say, yeah, Gwyneth, that call's not going to happen. So I think we're all safe.
Wow.
All right. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by Craziness. No, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A report says that eating chocolate ice cream can significantly reduce emotional and physical pain. That is good to know. We should always have chocolate ice cream on hand.
Huh.
And then I'll feel better. So keep that in mind. Put that on the list, Heidi.
All right.
Things I need. And the rest of the program here, we're going to talk about, just this break, we're going to talk about Would You Rather. We've done these
I like
before.
these.
Would you rather never get a paper cut again or never get something stuck in your teeth again? I do the paper cut.
Never get a paper cut because
Yeah, I get
that
the teeth
happens
thing.
very rarely.
Yeah, boy,
So-
they hurt. Would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life or without toothpaste for the rest of your life?
Oh, gosh.
Can I still use mouthwash?
That one is tough. I would say go without toothpaste.
Yeah, because you can use mouthwash. Would you rather always have a mullet or always have a ponytail?
Always have a ponytail.
Okay. Would you rather be forced to listen to the same song 10 times on repeat for the rest of your life or forced to watch the same movie 5 times on repeat for the rest of your life? You live with me, so you're stuck with both of those.
I would have to say the same song.
Okay. Would you rather listen to an annoying laugh for the whole day or get tickled for an hour?
Well, since I have the annoying laugh, I would have to say listen to the annoying laugh.
Oh, I like the annoying laugh. I think it's beautiful. Would you rather your only mode of transportation is a donkey or a giraffe?
A giraffe.
That's awesome. Like, where are you parked? I'm the giraffe side of the tree over there. Oh, of course you are. Would you rather be physically stronger than most people or would you rather be able to fly?
Oh, I would like to be able to fly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No question about it. Because if there's somebody stronger than you, you can just fly away from them. They can't fly. So.
Right.
Would you rather have to always wear heavy boots or never be able to wear shoes at all?
Probably the heavy boots.
All right. And would you rather never have another embarrassing fall in public or never feel the need to pass gas again in public? Well,
What's your answer, John?
hey, let's do the falling in public thing. I don't want to do that. If you'd like to play along with any of these, maybe you've got, family and friends getting together this week, you can find this in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Our guest, Ashton Gleckman, is a 23-year-old music prodigy. He's also the director of a docuseries, Kennedy. It premieres this weekend on the History Channel. Ashton, congratulations on your success. How did you get involved in this?
I started developing the project myself back in 2020. I've always been obsessed with history, and I have a bookshelf in my office just filled with books from different biographies and just a treasure trove of World War II books. And I've always, for some reason, just sort of lost myself in history. And so Kennedy is one of those figures that sort of keeps popping up again and again and again. And it doesn't matter what context it is. he's always referenced. His quotes are iconic from his speeches. And there's something about him that is sort of timeless. And I think partly that's because he was assassinated in his prime at the age of 46. And we still see him in that light. And so I just knew that Kennedy was a subject I really wanted to do. And if I was going to do it, I didn't want to focus on what most of them focus on, being the assassination. I wanted to really dive into who this person was and how he became the JFK we all know, today.
So the docuseries is 8 parts, and it kicks off this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So it premieres this weekend on the History Channel, but if people want to watch it later, they can do it through streaming, right?
Yes, and also it'll be available wherever you purchase or rent your favorite movies.
I love that. And pretty much anybody that was alive at that time knows where they were the day that happened. Now, there are people like me and like you who we weren't alive at that time, but we know this was a big deal. And when you watch this documentary, you find out why it was such a big deal.
Exactly. And I think, a lot of times, we focus on that assassination, but we don't think about why we're still so obsessed and interested with that assassination. And the reason is because he was this timeless figure, and he was shot in his prime, and it left all of us sort of in a state of shock that we're still facing to this day in many ways. We're still coming to grips with it. We're still trying to grapple with it. And that's, I think, the key to why this story continues to appear. 60 years later, it's just as powerful in the sort of psyche of America and really the world in general as it was 60 years ago. And I think that's one of those rare stories like we've seen in the past with serious events in history like 9/11 or Pearl Harbor, for example. And that's why everyone who was alive at that moment, who was old enough, remembers exactly where they were.
Again, our guest today is Ashton Gleckman. He's 23 years old. He's a musical prodigy. He's also the director of the docuseries Kennedy, and we'll come back to that. But Ashton, what was it that first got you interested in music? Because for about a decade now, you've been scoring musical scores for films. What was it that first got you interested in that?
So that was the first thing I ever did was basically music. So I got my first guitar when I was 7. And basically just fell in love with playing music. And when I was 14, I sort of fell in love with film scoring and movie soundtracks. And I think it was really because there were 3 pivotal movies that had beautiful soundtracks that came out. There was Interstellar, The Imitation Game, and The Theory of Everything, all in that year. And I immediately went into film scoring. And what I fell in love with was the fact that music really brings films alive. If you think about the great films, whether it's The Godfather or Lawrence of Arabia, it's hard to imagine those films without the iconic soundtracks. And so I began to work in that field. And when I started going into documentaries and filmmaking, I said, okay, well, you don't leave the music behind. Keep on with that. And so I basically, score my own projects now. I work on the music. And with Kennedy, there was a soundtrack that I worked on with 2 other composers.
I love that. And that answered one of my questions. I was going to ask if you got to do the music for this. I assumed you probably did, but I'm really glad to hear that all came together. And what was it like working with the cast of characters that you had assembled for this docuseries? People like Conan O'Brien and many others. That had to be like surreal.
It was absolutely surreal. And I think the Conan O'Brien one was the real key one where I was sitting there at his studio in Los Angeles, and it was almost like a surreal moment where I'm sitting there interviewing Conan O'Brien, and he was a really, really kind person and gave me plenty of time. And you can tell how important Kennedy was to him and to sort of, the legacy of people of Irish Catholic heritage as well and what he sort of means to them. So it was such a pleasure to meet with so many different people and, see about how important Kennedy is to so many.
Ashton, thank you so much for your time today, and appreciate you chatting with us about this. And thank you also for putting your heart into this project.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Again, the docuseries is called Kennedy. It launches this weekend on the History Channel, and it's available everywhere streaming as well. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Hair and nails grow faster when you're pregnant.
I knew that.
All right. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Apples ripen after being picked, but oranges do not.
Oh.
Very cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
An iceberg contains more heat than a match. That's pretty cool.
Really?
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Queen Elizabeth II, was Time Magazine's Man of the Year in 1952. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth II, Time Magazine's Man of the Year, 1952. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Taking a warm shower leads to an increase in dopamine flow, which makes us more creative. So if you have great ideas in the shower, that is why. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The International Space Station is the most expensive object ever built at $150 billion, with a B, dollars.
Wow.
That is a whole lot of dough.
That is a whole lot.
All right, several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. On the average weekday, you'll use 4 of these. On Saturdays and Sundays, it's closer to 6. What are they? Average weekday, you'll use 4 of these. Saturdays and Sundays, it's closer to 6. What are they?
I don't know.
Mugs or cups? You use 4 on weekdays and 6 on the weekends.
Okay.
So, I don't know why that is. I don't make these up. I just read them, and I trust that they're right. You're looking at me like I made that up.
That I just think that was an irrelevant
It probably is.
fact.
All right. Well, I'm glad we're all going to lose sleep over this one. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. The best way to avoid skyrocketing rent is to just not pay rent. A man in China was recently busted after he was living undetected in a mall for 6 months. He evaded security by hunkering down in a tent under the stairs. A video showing his epic living spree is all over X. It's so hard for me to say that. It's all over Twitter. It shows the unidentified man had a stashed tent, table, computer, and chair under the staircase. He would periodically pop out to charge his devices at the shopping center's outlets. Then he went for a little, things went well, there we go, for the little mall rat, till he was discovered by a security guard last month. Can you even imagine? Because like at night,
That'd
he
be
would have
awesome living quarters, really.
Yeah,
I mean, if you could,
maybe.
know.
Where was he taking a shower? I'm assuming nowhere, because they don't have showers in the mall.
Well,
I
there
don't know.
might have been.
Yeah, who knows? Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Heidi, you better get a list pen and pencil, whatever I'm trying to say. Start making a list. I have the coolest places to travel to.
Okay.
The coolest places for 2024, the cool list. Top European destinations. The Albion Alps in Albania. Belfast, Northern Ireland. Emilia Romagna, Italy. Have you heard of any of these?
I have not. Well, I've
how
heard
about-
some of them, but I haven't heard of that one.
Galloway and Southern Ayrshire in Scotland, Nordland, Norway, North Yorkshire, England, Pompeii, Italy. What else do we have on here? I'm going to just scroll to the next one. The coolest spots to visit in the Americas, the Acamita Desert in Chile, Lima, Peru, New York State, New York, U.S., United States, Miami, Florida, Texas, so the whole state, Dominica, Nova Scotia, Canada, and let's see, Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, and Iberia Wetlands, Argentina.
Does it say what is cool about each of these destinations?
Not on my list, but I'm sure they have it somewhere. National Geographic Traveler published it. You can find all the info in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com. Quote today is from George Bernard Shaw, who said, "We learn from experience that men never learn anything from experience." I love that. George Bernard Shaw has a couple of really, really good quotes. He had a quote that is one of my favorites. I'm going to paraphrase. If I have an apple and you have an apple and we exchange these apples, we each still have an apple. But if I have an idea and you have an idea and we exchange these, we both now have two ideas. I just love that. Like, that is such a cool thing to share ideas. You both grow. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. Comes your way, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I have no idea. I haven't read it yet. Heidi makes fun of me because I just dive into this head first because it's sent to me under the guise of this is good news. Here's a headline. First ever image confirms survival of a lost Echidna. Echidna. No, after more than 6 decades, the elusive Attenborough longbeak enchinida, a mammal species that once was thought to be lost, has been sighted in Indonesia for the first time in 60 years.
Okay, that is actually pretty cool.
I know. I thought so. That's why I'm reading this story as good news. It's kind of a long beak enchinida, named after Sir David Attenborough, had been last seen in 1961. These spiky, furry creatures, often referred to. What did I say? often. I may be having a stroke. I don't know. Often referred to as living fossils, are believed to have originated around 200 million years ago, sharing the Earth with dinosaurs. Until now, the only evidence that this particular species existed was decades-old museum specimen of a dead one. But now, they have one on camera walking around in the woods, so it's alive. It's there. They know for sure that it's a thing, and they know it. The team's month-long expedition took them through previously unexplored areas in this mountainous area, and that is where they found this little fella. It says, I'm not joking when I say it came down to the very last SD card that we looked at from the very last camera that we collected on the very last day of our expedition. You know why they quit looking? Because they found it. So anyway, that's really cool. I think it's neat. I've got a link to the story. There's a photo. It's like a grainy black and white photo. And there's video. And I think that maybe this stuff was taken like in the night because it's a really weird looking image. So I think that either it's a really weird looking animal and that's just the coloration on the animal, or it's like night vision. I think it's night vision though. So
okay.
If you want to see it, I've got a link in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.